Alright, it goes without saying, we're not in Kansas anymore. Alright, so I'm here in Oklahoma. I'm actually close to Oklahoma City in a little town called Edmond. My friend Seth was kind enough to give me a place to stay for a night or two, and we're going to go do some fun stuff today, so definitely stay tuned. And I think I'm going to basically put everything in a compilation, and then Seth and I are going to go over everything kind of at the end of the day. But let me introduce you to Seth. Here he is.
So Evan and I, we met actually over Facebook probably about a year ago. He kind of taught me how to light paint more or less, so it's kind of cool that he's here. So today we're going to go out and I'm going to kind of show him a little bit what Oklahoma City's about. Believe it or not, there's actually a lot of really cool cars and a lot of really cool stuff to do here. So I'm going to go out in my RS30 and he's going to have his RS6, and I'm going to show him some cool places to shoot. And also my biggest client, Exotic Motorsports of Oklahoma, we're going to go check out their inventory and look at all the cool cars that they have there in stock. So hopefully I can give him a good experience for Oklahoma City in one day.
Hold on. No, do it. Yeah, it's going in the video. All right, everybody, it is now the end of the day. It's Monday. We had a really amazing day today. I want to introduce you to my good friend Seth, who's been kind enough to actually let me stay at his place for a couple days and gave me some really fun experiences. So yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell me a little about yourself.
So Evan and I actually have a lot in common. I own Underline Photography. I'm a freelance photographer and I specialize in luxury and exotic automotive work. I do weddings and portraits, things like that, but not as much as I'm known for my automotive work. So Evan and I kind of connected over that. I've been doing photography for 4 years now, running my business for 3, and I do inventory work for an exotic car dealership, also like Evan. So yeah, that's what I do. You can find my work at underlinephotos.com, and I'm on Instagram and Facebook at ulphotog.
It's a pretty interesting story on how we met, too. I mean,
absolutely.
Basically, I think I just posted a picture on the car photography page, and you commented on it and had some questions, I think, about the process of how I created the image, and we ended up on a Discord chat, not too much longer after that.
Yeah.
And kind of went through the process, and yeah, and then when I decided I was going to travel across the country, I think you maybe reached out and said, hey, if you're ever in Oklahoma, stop by. So
absolutely, yeah.
So I had to take you up on that.
For sure, yeah.
So not only did Seth give me a great place to crash for a couple of nights, but he also gave me a really, really cool experience that I wasn't expecting to have in Oklahoma. So so Edmond, it's like basically Oklahoma City, right? I mean,
yes, it's considered the northern end of the metro area. There's probably 6 or 7 decent-sized cities that kind of make up the Oklahoma City metro. So we kind of just lump it all together and call it OKC.
Gotcha. Cool. So where did we go for breakfast?
So we went to a place here. It's a bit of a chain. There's a couple of them, but it's called Neighborhood Jam, and they specialize kind of in brunch. So your mimosas, eggs, hash browns, breakfast tacos. Just they have a little bit of everything for everybody.
So after that, we did rolling shots. So I
Yep.
cleaned up my car, took it to the car wash, got it as clean as I possibly could, and then
That's one thing that Seth does quite a bit of is he has this rig he puts on his car. He has a Ronin RS2 and like basically a boom arm that does some shock absorption.
The Tilt-A-Hydra is
Okay.
the actual like device that suctions to the back of my car, and then I use the Raven Eye with the RS2 to remote in from my phone, and I get a live view of what my A9 sees. So that way I can control everything from my phone while I drive. Yes, it's safe. It's not sketchy. It's very easy to do.
Yeah. It was cool to see that thing moving up and down, and well, obviously the car was moving up and down, and
Right.
and the gimbal and
The Tilta?
Tilted was keeping it stable. So
Right, yeah.
that was cool to see, and the results were amazing. I mean, I saw some of the raw photos on his camera, and I'm excited to share those with you guys. So after the rolling shots, we actually checked out an exotic dealership, the dealership you work for.
Yes, Exotic Motorsports of Oklahoma. And if you're curious about any of their inventory or their cars, you can find them on Facebook and Instagram at Exotic Motorsports OK.
Yeah, awesome. And then we went home, we dismounted the rig.
Yep.
And we went to
Lake Arcadia.
Lake Arcadia.
Tried to go there. We made it through the gate, and me not thinking whatsoever, it being Memorial Day, the lake was obviously packed. I'm so accustomed to going there during like my own schedule where I just have it in my head. I know it's going to be empty. That didn't click today. So it was packed. We didn't really do anything. We kind of just made a lap and left.
Yeah. $7 I won't get back.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Same here though.
No, yeah, I know. I'm just messing with you. Anyway, but after that, I think the highlight of the day was probably
the dairy plant.
Abandoned dairy plant.
Yeah.
That was wild, and it was huge. And we just pulled up and walked through the entire thing.
Yeah, so that's kind of an interesting hidden gem. I'm not saying this to boast, but I don't know of anybody else here locally that knows that this place it exists. I use Google Earth to scout places to shoot, and specifically I was presented with the opportunity to shoot a very unique McLaren 720S for a very good client of mine, so I definitely did my due diligence on Google Earth trying to find a very unique location to shoot this car, and I came across this abandoned building. I had no idea what it was.
Right.
I ended up speaking with the property owner, and he told me kind of the backstory on it. It was this dairy manufacturing and shipping plant, and it was built in the 70s, and it's been abandoned for 15 to 20 years at least.
Sure.
And they tried to fence it up and keep people out, but unfortunately people repetitively broke in. The cops don't really deal with it, so we had very easy access to it, and it's just a really, really interesting place to go see. It's in the northeast end of Midwest City, Oklahoma.
Yeah. And we won't give you guys too much information because I'm actually going to do a whole episode on it because we did spend quite a bit of time there, and I'd like to share some of the details. I mean, it was pretty wild to walk around, and kind of creepy. Got kind of eaten up by some mosquitoes, and there was definitely
Got chased out by wasps.
Chased out by wasps.
Yeah.
But it made for some incredible photos and
Absolutely.
some really cool content, which I'll be sharing with you guys. So
Yeah, definitely keep your eye out for the crashed FPV drone footage.
That was not great. Anyway, moving on. Seth told me earlier in the day that he had a surprise for me at 7 o'clock in the evening time.
Yep.
And he did have a surprise for me. He basically posted on social media and managed to get together an incredible rooftop parking garage carpet.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of really cool people. And again, thank you so much for that. That was really, really cool. So,
yeah, I had to leave you with the impression that Oklahoma is not little house on the prairie. We're not this rural farmland of nothingness.
Right.
We have a really solid infrastructure and a nice cityscape.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of money here in this city.
Yeah.
And with that comes a lot of really incredible enthusiast grade cars that I think would be a shame if you, the Lamborghini Sarasota photographer, didn't get to experience that. So I kind of had to show off a little bit.
Oh no, well you certainly did. You certainly did, and it was a blast. And there's a lot of really cool people. And one of the gentlemen, Ivan, he showed up in the eventful SV and kind of stole the show.
Yep.
I got some really cool shots of that, which I'll throw up. But that
a lot of cool
awesome.
cars out. We had an SQ8, an R8. We had a bagged and built big turbo X6.
That was actually really cool.
Yeah. What else was out there? A brand new Rivian R1? T1?
Gosh, it was a pickup truck.
Yeah, the new Rivian truck.
I don't know.
The new electric Rivian truck that was there. A Rolls Royce, I believe it was a Phantom or a Dawn.
I think it was a Dawn.
Drop head coupe, whichever one that is. I don't know. I'm terrible with Rolls Royce.
I don't want to mislabel it, but it was beautiful.
It was a newer Rolls Royce, and it was a convertible. But yeah, so thank you everybody, all my clients and all my friends who came out to this meet. It meant a lot to me personally. So thank you guys if you're watching this. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, and it meant a lot to me too. It was really cool to meet all you guys, and if I'm ever back through here, I hope we can do it again.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
Cool. Well, I think that pretty much concludes the video.
Absolutely.
But again, I can't thank you enough for having me out and giving me a place to sleep.
yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, until the next time.
Okay.
All right.